Coach, how are you guys embracing the challenge of the Crosstown Shootout?
Oh, we are embracing it. We're excited about it. I think these two set the tone with helping the team understand the importance of the Crosstown Shootout, and we're super excited about it. We have a higher level of focus this week. We're ready to go for it and ready to bring that trophy back home.
Last year was your first taste of the rivalry. Is there anything you're taking away from that or that you learned that you feel valuable heading into your second year?
You know, I think when you join a program and there is that big rivalry, you inherit it right away. So you feel this energy around it. You feel the excitement of all the fans in the area. You want to win it for them. And we definitely did not have a good showing last year. I think, you know, that game we were down quite a few players. Obviously last year was a challenge for us, but you know, I think they gave it all they had, but I think you still have that taste in your mouth going into this year saying that you want to go in and you want to win this for the fans. You want to win it for the university. You want to win it for these young women who are next to me. And again, I think they do a very good job of leading our group and helping them understand this is a game. As soon as the schedule's out, you circle that game and you know you want to win all of them, but this is one that you prepare for. You hire your focus. You're intense about going into this game because it's one you want to win.
Loren, you're going to get to play in this one this year. You've watched it, you've experienced it, and you're going to be part of probably one of the harder matchups with Jillian Hayes. You know, get a piece of her. What's it going to be like for you? What are you expecting maybe to come in and actually get to play in this one?
I mean, I'm excited. I watched it last year from my bed post-surgery, so I'm definitely excited to be involved in it this year. And I'm looking forward to the matchup, actually. Like, I know she's a good player. You know, we've talked about it. We addressed it in practice, but I'm ready, so I'm looking forward to it.
Tae'lor, they got great guards, and you're one of the best defenders on the squad. What are you expecting going into this game?
I'm just expecting us to set the tone for my team, slow them down as much as possible. They like to get up and play fast, so I want to slow them down as much as possible and then get that energy started for my team. I know with me being the head of the defense and what we like to do, it starts with me. So,
Hey, Coach, we talked about that your game last week, and you haven't played since. It was last Saturday, I think. How nice has it been to have that time with this team? I think we said it was going to be one of the longer periods of time you've had to work on some things, and maybe it's sort of a mini camp coming into this. How has it benefited you leading up to this one?
That's exactly right. We got this group together right at the end of August, most of them international, so they couldn't be here this summer, and this is the first long stretch that we are able to have with them. So cleaning up a lot of things that are really hurting us in games. I think we started off this year very strong defensively, our defense well ahead of our offense. And in the past few games, we've really gotten away from some of our standards and principles. So this week really gave us some time to go back to the drawing board, get back to the basics, focus on the details, get after the angles and the closeouts and correct rotations defensively. And like TP said, you know, she's the head of our defense. She sets the tone for us. She gets everybody on the team excited about how we should be defending. And right now, we really need our defense to create a lot of offense for us still. I think our offense is starting to bud open a little bit. I think you're starting to see better reads. You're starting to see people knocking down shots with confidence. And you've seen a glimpse in each of the games. But, you know, this week we really spent a lot of time making sure that our defense got back to standard so we could create that separation, put some points on the boards that way, and take a little bit of pressure off of our half-court offense.
Tae'lor, you have the Crosstown experience with playing in it last year. Is there anything you're telling them about what to expect? I mean, I know that last year was at UC. You get it home this year, but are you giving them any advice on just how to handle all the hype that comes into this rivalry?
yeah, I just tell them it's another game. Don't get too frustrated about it's a big game, it's a big game, it's a big game. I just telling them, like, hey, they're going to have fans, we're going to have fans. It's not going to be like us a home court advantage, but it's going to be a good game. They're going to fight. It's our home. Let's just protect our home court. So.
Coach, how do you prepare for a matchup with Jillian Hayes? Obviously, she's averaging nearly 20 and 10. As a coach, how do you prepare for a matchup for someone who does everything so well?
Sure. I mean, she's a load, right? She's handling everything for them. She puts the ball in the basket, you know, with her back to the basket. She can face up. She can get to the pull-up jumper, really score it. But, you know, like Loren said, she's ready for this matchup. It's something she's excited about. She's watched, you know, her play even before we even started talking about Scout. And I think we have an elite defender in Loren Christie, and I think that one-on-one matchup is going to be a really fun one to watch. I think she stays steady, she stays locked into trying to take away some of the advantages that Jillian tries to take. I'm excited to see her go out to try to dominate this one. But I also look at, you know, our team defense. We do a really good job of everybody's responsible for guarding the ball and having each other's backs. You know, we steal it from Coach Miller with our gap defense style. in our approach. So we should have a lot of active stunts in the gaps. We should have a lot of people really shrinking the floor and not allowing her to see such a big angle in space to drive it. So, Lo is ready. She's going to get after it, but she's going to have the team fully behind her to help make sure that we can shut her down.
And then on Cincinnati's front as well, they bring in Taniyah Hilton from Texas A&M, who didn't play much at Texas A&M, but she's starting to come out of her shell a little bit, averaging 14 points a game. What makes her so difficult of a matchup, knowing her ability to get out and facilitate and create for others?
Sure, I think she facilitates. I think she puts the ball in the basket well. She doesn't make a ton of mistakes. She reads the defense pretty well, and she's just such an elite athlete. Gets up and down the floor, really puts the pressure on you. But again, if I can go back to our standard defensively, we spend a lot of time talking about that. We want to get in the gaps. We want to take charges. We want to make people, force them to take those pull-up jumpers, right? Take the long twos because they're worried about getting into the paint and us stepping in and taking the space before they get there. So, again, a tough matchup, a big day, an exciting game for us, but I have a lot of confidence in the defense when it's headed up by these two young ladies next to me.
Coach, you're third best in steals right now in the Big East with 9 steals per game. How important is it to bring that pressure to win on Saturday?
Third, we're fighting for number one in that, right? Like TP said, TP, Julia really getting up and being our smokes, being the head of our defense. We want to turn people over. We want to get them sped up. We want to get them rushed and get steals. And again, we need that to help fuel our offense. So we rely on it. We want them to get after it, and we want to make people, play at a pace that they're not comfortable, and really go away from their go-to set. So a lot of talk about it this week. It'll be a lot of talk about it all season. It's who we are. It's our identity, and we've got to lock back into it.
You got 10 newcomers, really 11 if you count her, but she was here, but she wasn't able to participate. How do you kind of educate the overseas, the international players about what this is and what is there an international equivalent of this game anywhere?
I'm not even sure I can answer that. There's from so many different countries, I don't even know what the equivalent would be. I think it's a mix. I think there's a balance of we're not going to put too much weight on it, like TP says, right? We're not going to make it bigger than it is, but we are going to understand the value in the rivalry game and how you want to sharpen your focus, how you want to prepare. I think it's a perfect time to play it. They finished up exams. They have nothing but this to focus on. And you're just really excited to watch them have their first shot at it, their first taste at it, and to grow into the excitement of the game.
So speak for both of you guys. Just in terms of we're getting in the middle of December, coming up on the end of December, chemistry-wise, you're starting to work some new faces in. You have played several games, obviously. What are you noticing about some builds in chemistry and some things happening on the positive side for you?
I mean, we obviously spend a lot of time together in practice, but off the court, you really see a lot more questions come up. Like we talk about this week, for example, we have got a lot of time to fix the little things. A lot more people ask a lot more questions, especially to us two and Jordan, our other captain. So those little questions take us off the court. Okay, now we're spending more time. We're looking at film. We going over things together. That time that we spend together, it really has us locked in as a family and as the group that we are, because we all trying to get to the same goal. And us putting in our time and effort off the court, it really brings us together. We go to food, we go to Starbucks together, talking about this stuff off the court all the time. Like, that's what's making us better on the court.
I feel like the adversity that we hit in our games, too, a lot of our games or a lot of our losses and our wins are helping us with our team chemistry as well. Because they'll come after the game and after a tough practice we'll have and just ask questions like she said in the locker room. The tough questions are coming from the tough adversity moments that we hit, and that's building our team chemistry, as we said, as Lo said. They'll come and we'll just have, after luncheons and everything, we'll talk about it. And I think those tough conversations are needed to build your team chemistry. Even when we have a tough practice, Mary reached out and was like, hey, I want to just have a talk after practice, like how did everything go? So that's helping our team chemistry as well.
All right, international question again. Skyline, Chile, not known around the world, but known here. Have you introduced any of these players to this and gotten any reaction out of it?
Have you guys?
We've talked about it. Look, we've talked about it.
Kinsey.
Yes.
Kinsey loves Sky.
Yes.
The
Kinsey.
discussion is, if you're going to try it for the first time, this week would have been the week. This week would have been the week. If you didn't do it this week, you've missed your opportunity. You're going to have to wait till Christmas, because we're not taking that risk. Me, personally, I'm not taking the risk, period. You're not going to catch me there. I'm going to stick to what I know. But if you really need to take that week off, figure things out, and then you can come back once you're done. But look, everybody knows what it is. We see it in the airport when we go through the airport. It's there. It's been addressed. If they want to try it, they can try it in your own time.
Is there an English perspective on it?
I'm not trying it.
Ever?
No.
Okay.
No.
You got a picky
Yeah.
eater here. She's
Yeah.
stubborn, but we're gonna get her to try it. Everybody's gonna try it. We'll have a taste test.
Yeah.
All right, interesting.